fun to watch for the moves. They're not hard to find. Strong arm tactics so loud, only themselves in mind. Every player has dreams of making Orca fame. They'll live on in the minds of those who get in their way. Orcas all say, don't come for me. Mid-merge boots, they're so vain. As we set up the podcast webcam, the pod is here to talk Orca game. Orca King CK with delusions of fame. In this LRG world, he's the apex predator. Dani and Jules in tow, always ready to go. Now it's time for the show. They're the apex predators.
Hello. I know you're surprised to see my face first and foremost. As normally Orca of all orcas, Mr. CK. He will be here with us soon. He is running late. He is in Perth attending to business, as he always is. But we didn't want to keep you guys waiting. We know it's late, especially for those Canberrans joining us who are in, AEDT time. It's late and we also want to get to bed, so we are going to kick things off. I have my partner in crime, my 2IC. What is it? Jules.
That was a sidekick was the name I was given. The stars.
My partner in crime, my fellow orca. Who's going to get the orca of the two of us? But we're not here to talk about Uncharted Waters. We are halfway through Canberra season 4. My God, it's late. We are in the midst of the Canberra 4 cast drop, and now we know we are getting returnees, which is such an exciting thing. Half returnees, half newbies, and the best twist of this is that they're pre-merge players.
Yeah.
Right. Which, there's so many players who we have said time and time again we want to see. We want to talk about them. We want to see them again. We want to see what they can do, like, to get past merge and what all the trouble they can cause from there. So I'm super, super excited to get into that. Jules, what about you?
I'm so excited. I think Canberra in particular has a lot of pre-merge players that had a lot of potential and then got screwed over by a twist, by an idol, by a swap, any of those situations. I think the first one that we know of is one that is definitely in that category of so much potential, but just didn't get that chance. So I'm very excited to see who they're bringing back, who's going to get another chance, who's going to live up to their potential.
All right. It's very, very exciting. We can jump straight into Maddie.
Let's jump into it.
Let's jump into my little presentation.
All right. Presentations. I love it.
All right. So, Maddie, super excited. Season 3, Canberra vs. the World.
So excited.
Oh no, I'm being waved at backstage. Give me a second.
Is he
here?
Here
he is.
Yay! We can't hear you.
You're muted. You're muted.
We can't hear you.
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Do you know where I am? I'm in the heartland of LRG Survivor. What does that mean to you guys?
Are you in the original backyard?
I'm in Perth, baby. I may not be in the OG little backyard. They did Perth backyard season 1, but I am in Perth. I am in the OG, and I'm here to talk about these. I think what better place to discuss these returning players?
I think the only better place to discuss these returning players is if you're in Canberra.
Yeah, that's probably better. But, none of us in Canberra. I'm in Perth. I've travelled to Perth purely for this advantage. Let's effing go.
All right. So we're going to jump straight in and talk about Maddie.
Look. I had a production perspective on Maddie. I don't think. all look. So then we can be honest about the season. We haven't been super honest about it previously. It's all pre-mergers, right? We need to make that clear for the purposes of this cast.
I have done the intro. You have missed it. I have informed the people what is happening. We are aware. Thank you. Continue.
Okay. I accept your discovery and I apologize for my mistake. The fact is, well, let's talk about Maddie. We're getting pre-mergers. Who's going to talk about Maddie?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super stoked for Maddie. She had so much potential in her season. She was socially connected, socially a threat, and she just didn't work out for her. Like I was really keen to see what she could do socially later in the game because she was liked by so many, but she was also clocked by so many as that social likable threat in her game. So I'm super curious to see how she approaches that time out.
Yeah, I mean, on her original tribe, she was in such a power position. She was in the strong alliance, and then just got swapped into a minority where they just went, yeah, we're going to pick you guys off, and we're going to start with Maddie because she was the most social of the three of them, I would say. So yeah, I think if she doesn't get swapped, I think she goes really far in season 3. So I'm excited we get to see her again.
When did you say?
I think she was absolutely swap screwed. Like you couldn't imagine a more swap screw position. She was tight with Eden. She was tight with Squin. And honestly, I think she was even tight with the people that you wouldn't expect her to be tight with. The Johns, the Aidens. I think she was in a fantastic position in that tribe. And for her to get knocked out, like she's basically the definition of swap screwed. And if we're going to get into a discussion, which I hope we are in this podcast, about who deserves a second chance, like everybody deserves a second chance. Obviously, like we all deserve a second chance. But I think Maddie, the circumstances of Survivor are such that you sometimes find yourself in a scenario where the fate plays against your chance and there's nothing you can do about it. And I think Maddie has a chance here to show why she's either an incredible Survivor player and fate really did her wrong, or she maybe isn't that good. Like it's basically a fresh start as far as I'm sitting with Maddie.
No, I completely agree with you. I think as particularly being the second boot for her season, she's not coming in all threatening as opposed to some players who may have gotten right before the merge, all those sorts of things. I think she's in a really, really great position. And based off Aston's comment here, like she went out and played a bunch of orgs post season 3. She's done the work. She's done her homework. She kind of will know what works for her, what doesn't, and putting that into practical play will be really exciting.
Yeah, no, copy and paste everything you guys are saying. So excited to see what she can do with a second chance.
Oh, okay. Then are we all going to be fighting over Maddie for the?
Look. There's one other person who we all know and love, so we might be fighting over him as well.
We're not doing a draft yet. This is purely
but when the time comes to the draft, there's going to be fighting. The claws are going to be out.
All right. Okay. So let's then. All right. So while we're here, Survivor Canberra pre-merge players, who do the Orca pod want to see again and why? And we're going to go through. Yes.
I don't know, Dan. Maybe I missed the program. It's not super confirmed that all of the returnees are pre-mergers, but I understand from Dan that is the case.
That is what our understanding of the game is. If we are wrong, Dan, we apologize. But our understanding is that these are pre-merge players returning. If that's not the case, even more exciting. Let's see what other players
can we just talk a little about how amazing this is? Like, this is the first...
Absolutely.
The first occasion in which a substantive number of players are returning for the second time. We have not seen that at all. I know that in Backyard 4, thank you. Look, I've had a long lunch. Thank you, Jules. Backyard 4, we saw 3 returnees that were first boots. And we've seen other returnees, people who played another time before, but we've never seen 7 returnees, and I'm fascinated to see how this is going to play out.
So
Yeah.
I'm so excited. This is a returnee twist that I'm obsessed with. I love it, and I can't wait to see who else we got. Are we happy to go in season order? Season 1, 2, 3.
Let's look at them all.
All right, perfect.
So what are we doing? We're going to go through every single boot from
Pre-merge.
Canberra.
Yep.
Pre-merge. Emily, season 1, our first boot. Obviously, we've seen again in Warrandyte.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit. Can I talk a bit?
Go.
I'd love to talk to Emily because Emily is actually a survivor winner.
Yes.
On the basis of this Orca podcast position,
rules, yeah.
the Tour on Tour de France rules, as you say, Jules, she lost in the final 3 against 2 people that were essentially cheating. So she got to final 3. She didn't get any votes. It was a 4-3 with Jake and Nick, and the 2 of them were in a relationship that was revealed to nobody. I think we're all in the awareness that if you were to play a game of Survivor with your partner, your husband, your wife, whatever way, whatever orientation you have, if you play with that person who you connected with, obviously you're going to win. But no one knows about that. So we've always determined that Emily is effectively the winner of Melbourne Survivor 2 on these Tour de France rules. However, she had a second chance. The second chance was in Canberra 1, and she blew it. Like, she was a disastrous first boot.
Well, the thing is, I think she got a bit unlucky there because it was a tied vote, and then the votes fell on her after on the revote because she had a public idol. They wanted to get rid of the idol. And to me, I don't know. I think that if the votes go the other way on the revote, I think she ends up in a good position. So we know that she can do it. We've seen her do it. So she has the potential. I think she just got very unlucky that first go around. And was it Jeremy that she tied with on that first vote?
It was Jeremy, the ultimate winner.
So she tied with the eventual winner at the first tribal council and then went out on a revote because I don't remember who it was. Someone did up and said, Emily's got the idol, let's get rid of her.
I would love to see Emily again. Like as unlikely as I think it will be.
Yeah, I don't think it's likely.
Because it will be a third time out. I loved her in Warrandyte. I thought she was fabulous. I really enjoyed her game. And I would love to see her older and wiser play again.
Look, as much as I want as many times to play again, you know, honestly, creators out there, Canberra, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth, back at it. Just cast me another time. I want to be the first time 6 times player. Like, whatever. But ultimately, I would look, I think the pros for Emily is I'd love to see how she redeems herself from being the effective winner to the first boot, to how she does on the second chance. But ultimately, I don't think I need to see a 3-time player.
And I don't think we'll get her, but I would love it.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see her.
All right.
We don't know who's on the cast, by the way. All we know is our confirmed Maddie. Just putting that out
Yes,
there.
we are completely unspoiled. This is literally us just talking about who we think. All right. Janine, second boot. Talk to me.
I think Janine, I think just falls into the trap of being the, I hate to use this term, but the quote unquote older woman. I think just fell into that. Yep, that's the easy vote. We've just had this crazy split tribal. Who can we all get on board? And unfortunately, that was Janine.
CK Fraser?
Yeah, look, honestly, the point of this podcast is to discuss why we think all of these people deserve a chance to have another shot. And I don't want to be negative and nasty, and I just cannot honestly see something that I can say about Janine where I'd like to see her play again. Look, I don't know Janine, and maybe she's learnt the game a bit better and can provide a skill set that we're not aware of. But I feel like she's the sort of person who's a lovely woman and an honest person. And if she were to play again, she's going to bring the same energy that she brought to Canberra Survival 1. And I don't know if that does anything for us in terms of making an exciting program. I'd love to see Janine again. She's an honest person, but I don't think it's going to make the show terribly exciting.
I don't think we have to say like why we're excited about every player. I think we can be honest and being like, look, it's not an exciting player for me, and that's okay because like I think we're the Orca pod. You know, we like the big players, we like the personality players, and that's okay. I think as long as we're not derogatory towards anybody or like talking down on the game, we can just actively be like, I'm not excited about this player, and we can talk about the chances of them. So, and that's fine. I don't think any of us are particularly excited about Janine if she gets that second crack. Come on,
anyone who's on there will be excited to see how they go.
Fabulous, but doesn't excite me. I don't think she'd bring much.
I'm excited to talk about the person that's next, though.
I think Janine did beat Keegan at like a tug of war or something. That's something, I suppose.
That's T.
Well, that's awesome.
Am I right about that or wrong?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
All right. The 12 experts think that she beat him.
This player, I think we're all
I would love
to see. This is a player that we want to see.
Aston was in such a good spot, but he was doing too well. They saw him coming and went, nah, you gotta go. And I want to see him again. He is someone I really hope is there, and he's in the comments.
Here he is.
This guy was dominating.
Yes.
Dominating the first 3 episodes, or 2 episodes. I don't know when he got booted. But he was third episode. He was dominating the strategy. He had a great position. And really, he only got eliminated, in my view, because the other contestants saw him as the threat that he is.
Correct.
If I was to pick a number 1 draft pick of someone I want to see back from Canberra Survivor that got booted pre-merge, it is Aston. He's elite, and I can't wait to see him back.
And I think also the thing with Aston, I'm pretty sure he's like crewed every season of Canberra since season 1. So he knows the players. He's watched the game. He's been waiting for his turn to get back into the game. I think he's going to be very, very dangerous if he is picked. And I think he's a high chance of being back on this cast.
Yeah. And I think going out the way he did, he probably took stock of that, has evaluated, and probably has learned a bit about some threat management. And I hope that if he's there, we see that in action.
I kind of hope he hasn't learned anything about threat managers, comes out like guns blazing. I would love to see.
Well, I mean, if a cast of all returnees probably doesn't need to worry about it too much.
Yeah, true. Very, very true.
And I think we need look. Aston has been a regular listener of the podcast. Other people that we've already discussed have not been such a regular listener. And I think, look, the podcast will need to do its draft. But I'm very, very excited to see Aston come back. Aston, I think, personally, was a huge loss to see him go out where he went out in his season. I think he had so much to offer. And all the people that could possibly come back, he's probably like number 2 on my list of people I want to see again.
Number 2, okay.
So this is a third person that we're all going to scramble for.
Yeah,
this is going to be a really interesting draft if we're getting the players we think we're getting. I mean, 2 of them we know, Aston we're unsure. All right, next, Laura.
Look, Laura's someone who just wasn't really feeling it on the day. She essentially asked to be voted out. I don't see her being there. I could be wrong, but we didn't get a lot from her on the day. And I know it's because she was not feeling very well. So, yeah.
Has he muted
any
himself?
thoughts on Laura?
And Jules just have some thoughts on Lauren. Jules, what are your thoughts?
That was Jules.
I just said that.
That was Jules.
Danny, do you have thoughts on Lauren?
She wasn't feeling well.
No, similar. Like I was like, no, I don't have a ton to say about Laura. To be fair,
Look, I had to apologize. I've ended up myself in a situation where I'm with a colleague, and his children are still like practicing their hockey, and there's noises, and I'm trying to manage that circumstance, and I'm not going to tell them to do anything other than their usual familial behavior because it's their house. So I'm trying to manage the circumstance. Can someone tell me anything about Laura?
Yeah, that's all I really remember from her. That I think she was not well on the day, and she was on a tribe that was just winning all the challenges. And when they eventually did go to a tribal, I think because it was a double, she just said, "Guys, vote me out."
She was on Keegan's tribe, yeah.
No.
You think she was on Dom's tribe?
Oh no, wait, sorry, I'm misremembering what tribe Keegan was on. No, she was on Keegan. She was on the red tribe.
Yeah, look, I'm not particularly interested in seeing someone who gave up on the game. Look, I'm sorry, Laura, if you're one of the people returning, but I've played this game, and sometimes we feel unwell, and we're not in the best headspace, etc., etc. And, I get it, you quit, it's fine, but I don't think those people deserve a second chance. Like, there's other people that would, murder a shark to play again. And I'm not. If Laura's there and she's back again, she's got that attitude, amazing. But if she's there just chilling out again, not for me.
Yeah, if you're returning, you need to like go in and have and want it and fight for it for sure. All right, next, Rose.
She another one who got swap screwed.
Two-time swap screwed.
Two-time pre-merge swap screwed.
And basically, her circumstances were exactly the same. When she played Melbourne 1, when she played Canberra 1, it was almost exactly the same. And there's no way that the best Survivor player could have negotiated themselves out of that situation. I'm really excited to see if Liz's sister can do better on this third chance.
Yeah, I'd be very happy if she was there. She swapped into, I think it was a 4-2. It was her and Jeremy against everyone else. They kept Jeremy, voted her out. Maybe they should have kept her and voted Jeremy out. Who knows? But yeah, like I said at the top, I'm excited to see people that were screwed by a twist or a swap. So Rose is definitely in that category for me.
Oh, all right. Let's flip through. Colleen.
So you have no opinions, Danny, on Rose?
No, I like both your opinions. Colleen, let's go.
Where are your opinions, though?
I like your opinions. We're on Colleen. Let's go.
Colleen wasn't so much swap screwed. She got swapped into a 3-3, and Ash was like, "Yeah, I'm just going to give her up. We'll vote out Colleen. It's fine." So yeah, I think that was a case of maybe not wanting to go to Rocks. That was the reason for her demise.
I think Carly needs to come back. She's someone who didn't quite know Survivor, and if she understood Survivor better, I think she has the mental fortitude and the social capability to arrange a better outcome than that got her booted.
Yeah, I agree.
It would be super interesting though if she was to come back. She does fall into that again, that like older lady category. Does she become the easy target of her returnees because she doesn't fall into the natural flow of everybody else?
Well, Danny, let me ask you: in Melbourne Survivor, I don't think you're an older lady, but I think in your tribe you may have got tarred with the older lady category.
Me?
Do you accept that? Yeah. Who's the old lady in your tribe?
She was the second youngest female on the tribe.
Yeah, but she was wearing a cardigan.
It was a fashionable cardigan. It wasn't an old lady cardigan.
Jules, are you saying you're the old lady on?
Well, look, if we're looking at pure, we didn't have an old lady on the cast in general. I think the the oldest woman on each tribe is not really someone I would put into that older woman trope. The oldest women on each tribe were both very, very fit. So,
yeah, it was Shelley on our tribe and Nat on Tortuga.
I don't think that was a factor for anyone on our season. And I think Carleen is someone that can probably avoid that. Because if I'm remembering in season 1, she was pretty good in the challenges and she was pretty social with everyone. So that wasn't, I don't think she's someone that, I think she's someone that could avoid that trope. If given the opportunity.
She comes back
I
with a
think
little more knowledge, a little more gameplay awareness. We could do some damage. I love it.
So what I was hoping to do in this show, and I don't know if we've done it, is why these people, what they could bring to a second chance. Have we done that? For
Yeah, we
everyone
have.
we've gone through? Okay,
I think so.
good.
We've sort of talked about why they were voted out and why they deserve a second chance.
I think Carleen deserves a second chance because I think she can bring, if she's learned like the insidious bit about Survivor,
Yeah.
I think that she would know how to play this game because she was capable. She just didn't understand the absolute connective social metrics of the game.
All right. Well, let's hope she's done her homework if she gets the call up.
I'd be very happy to see her again if she's there.
Amazing. All right. Isaac, last boot before.
Okay, I want to talk.
This is the heartbreak. This is the heartbreak spot, right?
There's no heartbreak, and I
There's
want
no heartbreak here. He quit.
there's no heartbreak. I want to talk about this.
All right.
He went out and yeah.
I've spoken to many people that were part of this season, and Dan and everyone is always so unclear about this position as to whether Isaac was unwell and then couldn't come back to day two.
Unwell because of his own doing.
That's right. Was he hungover or was he sick? And honestly, I'm pretty sure he went to a party, got wasted, and was. I don't know. I don't know if he was unwell or he just didn't show up because he like a no-show, which is
he
way
even
worse.
Technically a pre-merger? I mean, he made it to the night one, coming back for day two. They technically merged at the start of day two, so he wasn't there for the "you are merged, drop your buffs," but he basically was. Had he not gone out and had a party and not been unwell the next day, he would have been a merge player. So
I don't want to see Isaac. The only reason I want to see him, the only value that he provides me is that he, is this mythical story about whether he was too drunk, actually sick to return for day two. I'd love to get clarity on that.
Well, I mean, I'm going to argue with Aston here, right? He said bloke won't let a hangover get him down, but he didn't come back to the game. So clearly he's letting a hangover get him down if he can't return to a game.
And he did. His decision did lead to the incredible Ghost Island outcome of Canberra Survival 1. And without his fucking random hungover exit, we wouldn't have that. Look, I'll be fucking frank about this. I don't think that anyone who quit a game in the way Isaac... And look, admittedly, the game and the community was not what it is now that it was for him when he played this season. Like, the game has increased substantively. The community has expanded exponentially. It's more than what he played. So I feel that if he felt like if I was in his shoes and I got wasted, I'd still come back and play day two because I know how much playing one of these LRGs means, and I know how limited opportunities we all have to do so. So I feel like he's a little bit hard done by, and that's why I'd like to see him play again. Like I'm probably the hardest on him. Like I've been probably the most vocally anti-Isaac person in the fucking world over a number of podcasts about that he went to a party, he wasn't sick, he was hungover, blah, blah. I made a lot of stories about that. I don't know if that's true. But I would love to see Isaac play again. And I would love to see a first confessional about, hey, I was sick. Fuck you, CK. I'm here to go.
He's totally aware of who you are and what you do.
Yeah.
And then he'd be my fave. My absolute fave. That's how he
Well,
started.
if he's shouting you out, of course he'd be your fave.
Even if he hates me, he'd still be my fave.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's move on to season 2.
The ultimate.
Hang on, does anyone else want to talk about Isaac, or am I the only one?
No, you said plenty.
We're keeping this podcast short and tight. All right. Sam. I don't have a lot to say about Sam. We didn't learn a lot about Sam. She was quite a timid player. Like she was a typical first boot in these sorts of scenarios. Didn't really make connections, wasn't really aligned with the people in power, and just became the easy pick-off, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think she tried to build like a one-on-one alliance and hope that would save her over everyone else that's making all these other connections and talking to everyone. And it just, that's not going to cut it.
No, it's
I'd
not.
love to see Sam back. I think Sam's one of these Survivor players that made a horrible mistake. She lined herself up with Zaddy Simon, and who can blame her? He's a sexy man. He's incredibly attractive.
We'll talk about him.
He's coming
But that's
later.
who she lined herself up with, and with other people. It didn't really work out for her. But I think these people that go early are the best in the position to learn from their early mistake.
100%. 100%. Yeah, if she had insulated herself better, totally different situation.
Agreed.
No. Grace.
Grace is pretty. Grace and Sam very similar. Both people that just
They are not very similar. They are.
No, I mean
they're
not similar. I mean in terms of like why they went out, just not really able to ingratiate themselves socially within the group. Both became sort of the easy first boot of the tribe. I think the circumstances are similar.
I would love to see Grace have another opportunity. Like, we interviewed her and she was fully aware of the mistakes she made in her Survivor experience. She knew that she spent too much time searching for love rocks and not focusing on relationships. The interview with her mum, it was honestly a really lovely interview. And I think she's a lovely person.
I'd like to see Grace again. She seems
like
kooky and fun. I think she'd be a really fun player to see come back a second time.
And the first boot of this season was not keen to do an interview because they were a bit affected by the whole circumstance, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that solely. But I think that Grace had a real spirit and positivity about her experience, and she was aware of the mistakes she made. Like, she wasn't like, oh, why did I get voted out? She's like, why did I walk off and try and find all those love rocks instead of like building rapport and bonds?
I'm excited to see someone like that who's aware of the mistakes they made and happy to fix it. And I feel like that's the type of person that's probably going to be cast over someone who's very well with me about it. So maybe we are going to see Grace, and we'll be here for it.
Like, Sam just ain't happening. Sam was sad and didn't enjoy her experience and was really disappointed with the outcome. But we interviewed, and she wouldn't do an interview, and that's fine. But Grace was really positive, even though she was the second boot, about the experience. And I'd love to see Grace again.
All right. Joseph. Now, we met Joseph in Canberra.
We did.
We met Joseph in Canberra. He came to our Orca drinks.
He was, if I remember correctly, was he fully blindsided? Like, he did not see his coming?
I believe so.
I think he thought he knew it was coming, but
Yeah, I think he thought that he had the votes to stay, but he knew his name was out there. But either way, I would love to see Joseph back. I think he had a...
You'd love to see Joseph back?
Really? I would love to see Joseph back. I remember him, like, telling stories about himself and, like, getting involved with people. I think he was a victim of... I mean, he was the second boot from the tribe, but I think it was just them going to tribal a lot. I think that was part of the reason he went. I would like to see him come back again. He's obviously still within the community if he came to the drinks.
Yeah, I think it was from a fun confessionalist too. Like, he was just kind of just blurted out whatever he wanted to say, which is fun.
I don't really want to see him again. Like, honestly, unless he's going to... Look, yes, he was at the drinks, and I value anyone that participates in the social media metrics of our podcast. I don't want to be nasty, but I don't feel that he brought an energy that I want to see in Survivor. And he didn't bring that energy in this season, and he didn't bring that energy when I met him in real life. And I feel like that if I have to pick who I want to see and it's limited to 6 or 7 people. Like, he's a great story, and maybe he comes in and changes the world, but it's just not for me at the moment.
I tell you, and I don't think, like, of all the returnees I would have picked from, he would be top of the list. But I feel more, I mean, and we know this, more drawn to the women returning than I am to the men. So
Really?
yeah, funny that.
You drawn to the women. What a shock.
Women who are just, bad things happen to them. But yeah, again, he wouldn't totally be up there, I think, in terms of the chances of returning. It would be super curious to see what he'd learnt and what he could bring, if anything, to his return.
I agree.
Zaddy Simon.
Zaddy.
So Zaddy was actually, his boot was the episode I got to guest host. The Orca Pod. It's my first time on the podcast with Zaddy Simon. I'd actually love to see Simon again. I thought he was fun. I mean, as I got a lot of cringe from the confessionals about how he wanted to just pair up with young women. That was problematic for me at the time. He kept talking about how he wanted to align himself with all the young girls.
Let's break it up, Dani. Was it I think he said
that's
all
my own
these
Nick.
things.
No, that's my own Nick. I don't think he meant anything by it. There was nothing.
No, but was it
untoward
genuine
about him
or gross? Like the way
It wasn't gross, but it doesn't age very well.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it age well, Jules?
Any man, particularly someone who is on the older side, saying he wants to align with young women, it's a little bit of the ick.
Why?
It gives Russell Hanson the Dumbass Girls Alliance.
But he never said anything about.
No, I know that, but it's just.
And if I could finish my train of thought, I thought as a player he was fun. I thought he had a lot of potential, and I thought his confessionals were a lot of fun. I'd actually really like to see Simon come back. I'd like to see him disperse his alliance members. I think he could ingratiate himself socially really well. From memory, he did well in challenges. Like he's built, he's fit. I think he'd be a lot of fun to see again.
I would love to see Simon because he doesn't know. When he played the first time, he does not know the game. You really had no awareness of the game. No idea. And I'd love to see him with awareness of the game. However, how do you women feel if we have a choice between Simon and Kathleen? Because they can't both play together. They're married.
Colleen.
I'm actually Simon in that call. Why do you call Carleen in that scenario, Jules?
Because I'm always going to side with the woman.
Well, I thought our podcast was more about the orcaness of people and why people.
Orcaness. Well, I don't think either of them are particularly orca.
Who's more interesting to watch?
Slightly more orca than Carleen is, but no.
I was going to say Simon would be slightly more orca, and yeah. That would be really interesting to pick Dan's brain. It's like if he picks one of them, why he picked one over the other. I'd love to.
He has to. He can't put them together without explaining to the cast that there's people that are married, that are husband and wife. Like otherwise, you end up in a Melbourne situation where Emily wins by default.
Blindside Simon. Hey, I'd be here for that.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
So what do Hopper have to say? I can't read that stuff. Is it good stuff?
He said a Carleen and Simon duo. I'd love to see them both together. Haha. We know Carleen would blindside Simon.
Yeah, she absolutely would. She's savage.
Yeah, love it.
By the way, can we talk about I just want to talk about Hoppo.
Okay.
For the moment.
He's not. No, he's a post-merge player.
Hoppo's not in this. Yes, I know he's not in this category, but not everyone who follows this podcast, because our podcast has such far reach and importance, which is bullshit. I'm making a joke. But has anyone followed Hoppo's weight loss? I know people. We've
talked about it on the show several times.
Yeah, but it's next level now. He looks
great.
Can we stay in the game? Congratulate him on me in the back end. We're not doing that now.
Fine, I love you, Hoppo. You're doing amazing.
Yeah. This is the player I want to see most of all. All the pre-merge players. This is the player I want to see the most.
I will
I
bet
will
you a
wait for it.
bazillion dollars that she's on the season.
I would be. I'd put my mortgage on
I
it.
will
She's there.
be here for it. Oh my god, she has so much potential. I'm so excited. Dan, if you don't cast her, I will riot. I'll still do the podcast, but I'll riot about it.
Yeah, no, she's there, 100%.
Oh my.
There's like zero question. She's absolutely on the season.
And if she's
Amazing.
not,
I
I'm
love
homeless
it. We
because I
all
just put my
think
house
she'd
on
be
it.
fabulous. We can't wait to see her out again. I also while I know that she'll have a relatively high threat level, I don't think people will be suspecting of her compared to other players.
I hope she brings an assortment of belts that she can provide to people to like lower her concern. Hey, I know I'm threatening, but here's a belt that I can have. She has that belt sales experience. That's what I'm hoping for.
As long as she doesn't roll her ankle again, I'll be happy.
She's absolutely going to roll that ankle again.
No ankle rolling.
I would not draft this woman in a million years.
I will.
The ankle it's weak. I love her.
No, it's been like 3 years. The ankle is fine now.
It is not recovered. She's going down the draper.
All right.
Ankle is fine.
Banfield.
Bring back Banfield.
I would love to see Banfield again.
Bring him back.
Oh my god, I want to talk about Banfield. Banfield be Banfield, who was eliminated from the game. I don't think the Orca Pod has done a sophisticated divestment investigation into what happened at the unrecorded ultimate sacrifice. It doesn't exist. There's no film. Banfield suggested that the OG Orca James Wolfe in some way negated his success. Malcolm, who was there on the filmed version, says that was entirely untrue. If anyone has a better redemption story, it is Banfield. Be Banfield. And I don't know if he's on this season, but I think this guy deserves every opportunity return. Like, every part of his story was questionable and challenged and sad. And when he went out right before merge, it was like he had no agency and there's nothing to do. But this guy loves Survivor, and I'd love to see Banfield have another crack.
Yeah, I think, those last two players high on my list of returnees, would love to see them again.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, I don't think Banfield's a good Survivor player. I would just like to see him have another crack.
He's a good character.
Yeah. Yes. But I'd like to see him have another crack at it, because
the Orca podcast cares about character more than how good you are at Survivor.
And Banfield be Banfield. There's nothing better when it comes to Canberra.
All right, so
Canberra versus the world.
All right, here we go. Jay.
Who had something positive to say about Jay?
Jay had a positive attitude. He renamed the Swamp of Sadness the Swamp of Rejuvenation. He was a happy guy. I think ultimately he went out because, same as what we've talked about a lot with these first boots, he just didn't really make the social connections. He made a strong trio alliance, but then that was not the majority. So, yeah. We did have that epic first tribal of Canberra versus the world with the tie, and then the revote and the tie again, and the deliberation, and yeah.
Not one I'm excited to see.
No.
Not one I think is high on the list. Yeah. Nothing bad to say, but I'm not excited.
I'll be savage about this. I don't think his boot is necessarily negative towards him as a person, but I have zero interest in his redemption. Like, nothing about his story makes him want to see him again.
Yep.
And maybe he comes on to Canberra and just delivers an outcome, and we all think Jay's the greatest fucking LRG player of all time.
And you know what? I'd love to see it if it was to happen, but I don't think that's the case.
There's
and
no
then
one here
and
that
by
I'd be
picking,
like, oh, I'd be disappointed if they're there. But it's just there are people that I'm more hoping are there than others.
yeah, and from Canberra, well, sorry, bro, your first boot, and you didn't give him anything.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This queen.
Now this is like the J antithesis.
We want to see her.
This is like a woman that had cancer, that beat cancer, and then came to Canberra Survivor to demonstrate her ability to conquer those aspects and the aspects of life. And I think Andrea was playing a game where she was living that life circumstance, and she was too nice. She was too nice the whole game. Because she's there, I'm dying.
I don't think that's what happened. I don't think it was
No,
that she was.
but I want to see. I'm gonna say, don't interrupt me, please, Jules. I want to see an Andrea that's
Ampia.
Yeah.
Anthea. Sorry, that's play. I've had a lot of beers. I'm very sorry.
We can tell.
No.
Anthea that's playing a savage game. Like I think the weakness in her game is she's too nice, and I want to. If she's coming back, I want to see a savage Anthea.
I think she totally has that potential because from memory, her confessional, she had a little bit of a sassiness to her.
Mhm.
You could really see her running the numbers in her head. She had a great mind for the game. I just don't think she was the most outward person in her alliances.
No, but I think the key is that she made those solid alliances. You know, she had the what in the world advantage that Eden had to help her with because she was
Yes!
struggling with it.
Yep.
I think, again, she was in a really strong position, got swapped into a majority, and then having John on the bottom of that flipped on her and blindsided her. Well, not blindsided her. They knew it was coming and tried to play an idol on her. It turns out it wasn't an idol. I think, yeah, she just got screwed over by someone on the bottom flipping, and I would love to see her back.
Love to see her back.
If we're doing a draft and she's confirmed in the season, she's my number one pick.
All right.
Really interesting.
She's got game experience. She's got life experience. And she knows what it is to face these challenges. And I think she's perfect. And I think others who are not aware of her personal experience, whether it be in Survivor or be in life with the cancer challenges, they're not going to know what Anthea is bringing to the table. She's very unthreatening and unassuming, and I think she's going to devour them if they underestimate her.
And we would love to see it. Amazing.
Yeah, we're here for it. Love Squin.
Yes. Give me Squin. Give me Squin. Give me Squin back on my screen. Give me Squin back in my
You
life.
guys know Squin, but I'm going to say one thing, and then I'm going to let you have a little monologue. Squin is the sort of person that's threatening no matter what environment you put her in. I can't imagine her being put in an environment where everyone's like, yeah, I want to link up with her. Because she's so incredible.
Yes, 100%. I think she is, if she gets that chance to return, she'll be high on everybody's hit list. She will be quickly targeted as a returnee. But you give me Squid in every cast, every game, I would love to see it.
She's another one that she wasn't in a strong position on the pre-merge tribe, but I felt that even though she was in the minority alliance, she would have been the last one standing of that alliance because everyone did like her. Everyone did want to try and pick her up. And then she got swapped into the minority, and so it was just inevitable from there. But also, at the time she played, she didn't know anything about Survivor. That first tribal where they were tied, people were saying going to Rock. She didn't know what that meant. I think she has probably done some research since then. She's another one that, with some Survivor knowledge, could go really far. So I would love to see Screen here.
I love hearing about the Survivor knowledge aspect. I think that it's a huge factor. And I think, that said, I haven't met her in real life. You guys met her in real life? I know some of you have.
I have.
I can't imagine her savaging someone.
Oh, I can.
I can. Absolutely.
I've played games with her, like board games. I can.
Yeah. That girl has underlying savage all over her. I'm so fucking.
Do you want?
And she's
You think she understands
she's a
now? It is
competitor.
a game.
She is a competitor.
Yeah, she has learned what the game is. She understands what it's about. If she was to get that chance of returning,
There you go. Sophie is saying Squin would 100% savage anyone.
yeah, she's a competitor.
Yeah.
All right.
Look,
Amy.
I drafted Amy. Amy went through many stages of the battle to get back in. For that reason, I'd love to see her have an opportunity to play the actual game. She never got to play the actual game. It was incredible when she defeated these numerous opponents.
Won all of them except the last one.
Heartbreak.
Honestly,
Heartbreak.
it's a bit of a nasty statement. But I don't really want to see Amy play
I do.
again. Why do you think, Jules?
This is from a more personal perspective. I related to her a lot when she was sort of reflecting on her vote out and why she thought she was voted out. She was sort of saying, "Oh, maybe they perceive me as being weak in the challenges," and it's just I related to her in that moment, and then just watching her go and then win all of these jewels there. It was just that was so amazing to see that she was able to do that and get her own little bit of redemption herself. In her own mindset and her own sense of self. And so, yeah, I would love to see her again. I don't know if she is someone that would be high on the list to be cast again, but if she's there, I'll be very happy to see her.
And I would love, because she never really got to play the game.
Yeah.
Right? She was off in the swamp of sadness.
She's the first person out on her tribe.
Yeah. So for that reason, I personally would love to see her. She's not one I would be excited I'm like, yes, I must cast this person the way we have been with the Haleys and the Banfields and the Squins of it all. But if she got the chance to actually put her foot in the game, would love to see it.
Well, that's the challenge, Danny. I'm mindful of how many of these pre-merge returnees can we see, and I valued them. And to me, on Banfield, it just means a bit more to me than Amy. Amy didn't have the greatest chance, to be a participant in her season. Banfield just really wanted to play Survivor. Have we gone through them all now, Danny?
We have. That's all of them.
Well, I think we should all pick a favourite we'd love to see come back.
No one can say Haley because we're all going to say her, though. Everyone pick your second favourite.
We all want Haley here.
We all want Haley.
And let's get real. Dan's not an idiot.
No,
Haley's coming back.
I think as long as Haley said yes, I think that would be the only thing stopping if she wasn't available, but I think she'll be there.
To be perfectly honest, I think the same applies for Aston. I think Aston's value in that first season was, we talked about this when we did our recap on Canberra 1, and that he carried the first 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. He really did. He was amazing. And Aston's also, should we be casting people based on their contribution to the society? I think that's a question we all need to ask, broadly speaking. But Aston is always a part of our podcast, and he's always available, and he always cares about this community. Now, I think Aston deserves a return purely on his on what he demonstrated. He was elite in his season. But he also deserves, I personally want people to return to give a shit about the broader thing we're trying to make happen. And Aston cares. So I care about those people. And I'm sorry if that's unfair, but that's what I care about.
No, it's very passionate.
Look, I would when we said we couldn't pick Haley, my second choice would be Aston.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, I picked Aston, so you can't pick Aston.
Okay. All right. So no Haley, no Aston. Give me Banfield. Be Banfield.
He's great.
And CK.
What am I picking here? What is this choice?
You're the one that came up with the question. Out of all
Wait,
those players,
you're
who
gonna
was
pick
the
one
one
person
person
you
you
want
want? The one person.
And I can't have Haley, and you took Aston
Can't have
Banfield.
Haley,
Fuck
Aston,
it.
or Banfield.
You took all the best people. I'd love to see Rose have another shot. Rose gets tarred with the sister of Liz Brush. She played, the first season of Melbourne Survivor, which only has relevance because of this podcast. Let's get real. Like we have pushed that season into relevance, where she was swap screwed, and then she played Canberra and was swap screwed. And look, maybe I'd love to see her and have another chance because potentially she succeeds, or potentially she gets swap screwed again. And if her legacy is to be swap screwed for a third time, then you know what? Maybe she's
Survivor
just
gods
shit,
just hate her, apparently.
or she's just shit Survivor player. Like honestly, if you get swap screwed twice, I'll give you a third chance. And either you're a good egg or you're a shit Survivor player. Let's see how it plays out.
All right, so to confirm, we are all very, very excited about this twist. We are all very, very excited to see our returning players. We're very, very excited to see the God of War return. It's particularly knowing that
We're not talking about those people.
I'm doing the wrap up, CK. All right, let me do my wrap up of all the things we're excited about.
Who's the God of War, Danny?
Mars is the God of War.
Our friend.
Can we talk about this? No. I want to talk about this. No, you can't just drop the Mars discussion into the conversation.
You just said we can't talk about it.
Let's wrap up. We'll talk about Mars when we do our preseason draft.
You dropped it in, Danny.
Our outro.
We're wrapping up. Some of us have to go to bed.
How many days after this was Mars attendance on this? 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was pretty soon after Uncharted Waters.
No, it wasn't that soon. I know because I did apply for this season and was not cast. It would have been at least a couple months.
We're gonna have to draft, but fuck, mate, this guy, he cut his hair. It's like Samson. Do we want to go for this guy? Do we want to go for the Samson?
No, I don't think that. I think he's still got it.
He's on my list.
We will talk about the God of War when we do our draft.
The main takeaway from this is that we are excited. We're excited to be back. The OG Orcas back, ready to wrap this up, ready to talk about all the people. The next time we're here, we will all be very, very sober. We promise you.
I think I've delivered. I am drunk, but I have delivered.
I didn't say you haven't delivered. I'm just saying that we will be sober the next time.
We will be sober.
Next week, we're going back to Uncharted Waters for the tea party with our hostess with the mostest, Annabelle. Great news, you get to see our faces again with the brilliant Ash and Greg.
The great debate. It is the great debate. Come on.
With Ash and Greg.
With the two of us.
You just bury the lead. It is these ladies debating with Greg. With the moderator of Annabelle. This may be
we sat back with popcorn.
The greatest debate in the history of Survivor. It may be a debate about Palestine. Israel. I don't know where this debate's going.
And let's wrap it up there.
We're not talking about it. Anyway, we're excited. We have lots of things coming up. We're back to Uncharted Waters next week. And then following that, we'll be doing our draft. You will also be seeing the Mean Orcas again later in the year to cover Sydney Survivor Season 2.
Danny, Mean Orcas is an unofficial term. We don't like that term.
No, everyone knows we are the nice ones.
You call them the Mean Orcas. Your group chat is the Mean Orcas. You can't then tell me I can't say that they're not the Mean Orcas.
Do you think that's published?
It's well noted.
It's been said. Anyway.
You need to tell laws about that. They don't call us the Mean Orcas.
Will dance.